Rumors are that allegedly the network is begging Dr. Wendy Osefo not to leave the franchise. Will she stay? I have some new information that may answer all of those questions and more right after this. What's up, kinfolk? And welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. All right, kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about. And it centers around rumors that allegedly the network is begging Dr. Wendy not to leave the Real Housewives of Potomac franchise. What's going on? Will she stay? I have some new information that may answer all of those questions and more. And here it goes. Rumors are that allegedly Dr. Wendy is in deep negotiations with the network regarding her return to the Real Housewives of Potomac franchise. The source said, allegedly things are not great between Wendy and production. So the network had to step in to hash things over. The network executives absolutely love Wendy the same way they are super fond of Kenya, said the source. The network sees Wendy as a great asset to the franchise. Her powerful DC connections and family image legitimizes the show and presents the type of rebranded look the network allegedly wants. The source continued, for some reason, it's hard for production to see Wendy's high value, something that Giselle highly resents. The network simply can't afford to lose Wendy, said the source. Also, the optics would look horrible and further alienate a lot of the fan base. The franchise wouldn't survive 2 high-profile exits in one season. The source continued. So, the network is scrambling to keep Wendy. On paper, it doesn't make sense for Wendy to return. But for the network, it absolutely does. The source said, right now, Wendy holds all the cards, and the network is allegedly willing to play ball on Wendy's terms, something Giselle can't be too happy about. Now, kinfolk, this is a rumor that came across my desk this week regarding Wendy's, possible exit from the Real Housewives of Potomac franchise. Now, we've been talking about this for quite some time now about how Wendy right now is a toss-up in her possibility of returning to the franchise or not. And so the first part of this rumor that I want to give you guys some clarity on is this. Whenever you all hear rumors online, Twitter, or in any type of Real Housewives of Potomac community space, and the rumor is saying something to the effect of that Wendy is next to be fired or Wendy is on the chopping block, I want you all to know that my sources are saying that allegedly that is information that's coming from rumored talks between production and producers, right? In production. For some reason, it's like they don't quite see Wendy as a high asset as my source was telling me, especially now that Candace is gone. So sources are saying that production kind of feels like Wendy can stay or she can go, and that they're not that excited about her leaving or staying either way. However, when you hear rumors about Wendy returning and Wendy being offered a contract and being a part of next season's cast, my sources are saying that rumors and those talks are coming from allegedly conversations that are happening with executives at the network. Much how my sources were saying with Kenya and Real Housewives of Atlanta. The season that Kenya was demoted and the next season that she left, a lot of fans were speculating that she was being punished for hiding some parts of her storyline or her narrative from the cameras, which my sources are saying was somewhat true. However, when it came time for Kenya to campaign for herself to come back to the franchise, she did something that was very smart, and she did this. For those of y'all who don't know, Kenya allegedly did not campaign to get her peach back with producers. She went to the executives. Some way or another, maybe through direct conversation with the higher ups or through messages that were sent through some producers who were in Kenya's corner, Kenya allegedly found out that the network and network executives absolutely love the image that she gave Real Housewives of Atlanta, particularly in interviews outside of the franchise. They liked how poised she was. They loved how she answered questions. They loved how enjoyable she was during interviews, and how also oftentimes the person interviewing her was just mesmerized by all the things that she was saying about her beauty. And the network just really bought into that. They absolutely loved that Kenya was this former beauty queen who gave the network and the franchise such a nice look, right? And so when Kenya found this out, through either someone on production or maybe through direct conversations with some higher ups, she knew that when it was time for her to campaign for her job, she would go directly to the executives and not to production. So when you hear things and rumors about Wendy coming back and her contract has been offered to her, and even that she may be getting some more money, just know that those rumors are coming from talks that are happening at the network. It's like the network sees Wendy's high value, but production kind of doesn't. And it makes it seem as if that production really does value Gizelle over Wendy and Candace. Now, kinfolk, excuse me, the next part of this rumor that I find absolutely true, it's about Wendy and what she brings to the franchise. And it's this. Wendy is, without a doubt, a great asset to the Real Housewives of Potomac franchise. No one can argue that. And Wendy is an important asset because when you have a cast of women who are either biracial or fair-skinned or light-skinned, it creates this image that the franchise does not want darker-skinned women, and we're seeing this narrative play out, like dark skin versus light skin. And when you have a woman like Wendy who's on this show, who is a darker complexion, who is holding her own with the ladies in terms of going back and forth with them and bantering and throwing shade. And when you have a woman like Wendy who is extremely successful outside of the show, in the words of Phaedra, she is really pre-Housewives. She can be very intimidating to those lighter skinned women who are on the cast, who feel like they're being outdone by someone who they feel or think should feel that they are inferior to them. So here you are, you have Wendy, darker complexion, beautiful family, successful, doing all the things that someone like Gizelle feels like she should be doing, and getting all the awards and accolades and attention Gizelle feels like she should be getting because of the color of her skin. You can see the type of dynamic that creates. So it really does put the franchise in a good light a little bit, showing that they are really showcasing Wendy. They really want her to be one of the principal housewives. They're always highlighting special things that she's doing in the community and who she's around and all the DC power players. So for that part, I do think production sees that she's a great asset, but they come about this as if they are just using her, right? And not actually putting in the work to protect her and to nourish her and to help develop her the way they do with Ashley or with Gizelle and with Karen. Now, kinfolk, the next part of this rumor, I find very interesting when I was talking to my sources about Wendy's future at Real Housewives of Potomac, and as to why the network probably wants her to stick around a little longer. And it's this. My sources are saying that Wendy absolutely has about at least 3 good more seasons out of her. Like, the storylines are there, the family dynamic is there. Wendy is a diplomat on the show. So when you have someone like Wendy, who's a diplomat to the show, who can, really hold her own, and who has like unlimited storylines, she makes for a good housewife with longevity. And my sources are saying that the network absolutely feels that way, and that allegedly some producers feel that way, but it's kind of hard for them to convince the other producers who are just gun-ho, just team Gizelle, right? But I think it's fairly easy to see that Wendy does have legs when it comes to Real Housewives of Potomac. She can have many more seasons, especially if she gets into that pocket of being an actual diplomat. Unlike Karen rides the fence, right? She doesn't pick a side. However, with Wendy, she can come in and she can pick a side, and then she can defend the reason why she chose that side. Wendy can also come in the middle of a conflict or some drama, and she can decipher what's going on and help both sides see where they were wrong or where they could be right. And a person like that on a show that's all about conflict and resolution is very special and very important. Some people might think that's easy, but it absolutely is not. And when you look at this cast, that is actually what they are missing. It's just so unfortunate that when she has to do that with Candace, a lot of the fans feel like she's not being supportive of Candace or she's not defending Candace. But it's just the fact that her and Candace are so on an island unto themselves. Even if she did try to see another person's side or Candace's op side, it's just going to look bad either way. Now, Kinfolk, the last part of this rumor, my sources are telling me, and I absolutely believe, and I have believed this since Wendy's second season, and it's this. My sources are saying that Wendy is extremely smart when it comes to playing this housewife game. And that is another reason why Gizelle kind of resents her a little bit. Gizelle, if you notice, my sources are saying, has just come to the conclusion that she cannot beat Wendy. She's come to that conclusion. I don't know if you guys seen the clip of the upcoming episode where Gizelle tried to blame the fight on Wendy and Candace, and Wendy kind of like got her together real quick. And then Gizelle, like for the first time I've seen this season, kind of backed off of that and said, you know what, I'm going to take Wendy out of it. Gizelle knows that she cannot beat Wendy. That's why she refuses to interact with Wendy, because she can't win. And so with that, it's like Wendy does kind of hold a lot of the cards when it comes to the cast dynamic. And I think the network sees it as well and sees her like a Kenya, someone who can put a stop to the big bad wolf and get fans excited about the franchise again. Unfortunately, she's on an island unto herself, and Gizelle can somewhat force the ladies to ice Wendy out. However, again, that would look bad for the optics of the show, and I really do think the producers and the executives who are on Wendy's side would prevent Gizelle from doing that. But it just goes back to my original point. Wendy is good for the show. She understands how to play the game. She can outmaneuver Gizelle, left and right, right and left. And someone like that is very important to a cast, especially when you have fans feeling like Gizelle is getting away with murder, that production allows Gizelle to do whatever she wants with the franchise, and no one is stopping her, unless that person is Dr. Wendy. But Kinfolk, I want to know what you guys think. If you are to believe this rumor, because right now it's just alleged information and speculation, but if you believe that the network is desperately trying to get Wendy to stay at the franchise, do you think it's a good move or do you think it's a bad move? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, Kinfolk, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys over the next one. Peace.